wrestling historian wants to know, what was your reaction when you first saw Paul Wight? Thanks in advance. Paul Wight.
Chicago. We're upstairs in the locker room. And the guy that was like his legitimate manager, Jimmy. I don't know if have you met Jimmy? But he,
No.
they had either hired Paul to do like security work at different nightclubs or something. But I mean, here's a guy legitimately 7'2", and at this point he was a weightlifter too. On top of that, he had to be 400 pounds and in shape. I mean, he was like, he walked in the door with Jimmy, and Jimmy said, "Hey guys, I just want to come in and say hello." And I can't remember whose affiliation Jimmy had, who he was friends with, but it was somebody. I mean, we knew who he was, and a nice guy. And then Paul stepped in behind him and shut the door and was just leaning on the door like it was almost like a message, nobody's leaving. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Everybody that's in here is going to sit here. But I think it was just talking to Paul later. He was a huge wrestling fan, and he said, I felt intimidated. There's Arn Anderson, Ric Flair. There's Paul Orndorff. He could tell you the story. And he said, they're all sitting around. He said, my teeth almost fell out. He said, kind of had to lean on the door just to catch myself. He was starstruck. Who'd have thunk it? Because brother, he had long, dark hair, and he had to be the biggest leather coat ever made.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the look. He looked like a gangster, but a giant gangster, and he never said a word.
Just as a reminder for our listeners, Wight debuted for the company the following year and is immediately inserted into the program with Hulk, as he should have been. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, he's ready-made for Hulk Hogan.
Well, Hulk saw him, and he went back. Now, this is the same mentality of going back and killing all the giants with WWE, right?
That's correct.
Here's another one-man gang or another Andre or another monster, boss
King
man.
Kong Bundy, Big John Studd, whole nine yards.
Guys, God, here's one that nobody has ever seen and nobody knows. And Paul just had great aptitude for this business.